It is now about 3 days later and we are unexpectedly having some nice weather this morning. So I am going to go ahead and put my strawberries in the ground. But before I do that, I wanted to show you. It's only been 3 days, so nothing is showing, but this is what the peppers are looking like. They are in a humidity dome on my heater. And then the kohlrabi, also of course not showing yet, but also in a humidity dome, not on the heater. But it is quite warm in this room. I want to say it's about 22 to 24 degrees. So it's definitely warm enough that they can sprout as well, but they actually prefer a little bit lower temperatures for sprouting. What I'm now going to do, I'm going to grab my strawberry seeds, and I'm actually going to grab this tool as well. I'm interested to see how this works. So you have to kind of, so this is size 0, so this is all the way closed. I now put it on size 1, and as you can see, it's like a really tiny little hole there. And so you're supposed to put your seeds in there, and then they are supposedly going to come out a little bit more spread out, so not all at once. We'll see. I'm going to try it out and I'll let you know how it works. I just reread the instructions, and you're actually not supposed to sow them outside. You're supposed to seed them inside in a seeding tray, and then once you have a little plant, you can put them outside. So we are not going back there today. We are actually just staying inside and seeding them here. I came outside because I wanted to check how many plants I would have to plant, and I hung all of my strawberry containers. Yeah, it's a little more than I expected. I don't think we will be short of strawberries this year. But it's actually really easy to have them here because the hose is back there, and then I can just water them all in one go. But so yeah, I'm planning to do 3 plants per container. So that's 9, add one over here, 10, 12, 13, 15, and another 12. So 37, so I will probably be seeding 40 plants, and then hope that 37 will come up, and if I can only plant 2 per container, it's fine as well. Another thing I wanted to show you is our manure. We had a lot of rain, and so the manure really decomposed, so I'm quite happy with that. We're supposed to have some nicer weather next week, so I will be able to till this into the ground properly. And then I have this container, which I still don't know what I'm gonna do with, so I will just put it in the shed for now. Alright. What I am also going to do is grab my potting soil and take that inside, because my seedlings, once I'm going to pot them up, I will be putting them in actual potting soil, and by that time I want this to be about room temperature. I don't want it to be the outside temperatures, because it would shock the seedling too much. So I'm already gonna go ahead and take this inside. And then I think I will actually also use this to fill the bottom of my seed tray for my strawberries. But I'll show you that once we are back inside. Alright, we are in the garage now, and what I am going to be doing is I'm going to be adding some of this Epsom salt into my water. So I'm gonna see if I can open this. Yep. I'm just going to sprinkle a tiny bit in there, not too much. Because for the little seedlings it's not necessary to put a whole lot in there. That's probably enough. This water has been sitting on the heater next to my pepper seeds, so the water is a little bit warm. It's not hot, but it's a little higher than room temperature. I'm gonna mix this, let it sit, mix it again in a little bit when I am going to water in my strawberry seeds. So the seed packet says to just put the seeds on top, put a tiny bit of soil on top because they like to have light, and then put it on a tray with a lid on it. Half shade, and then you just need some water, and then 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, which is about room temp. It's a little under room temperature, but it's fine. And then it would take 15 to 20 days to sprout. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna fill this about, I want to say halfway to 3/4 of the way. I'm gonna fill it with potting soil, and then I'm gonna add the rest, fill up the rest with seedling soil, and then I'm gonna add my seeds on top. I now have all 4 containers filled up about 3/4 of the way with normal potting soil. Now I think what I'm going to do is already add some fertilizer onto this, because this is potting soil from last year, so all of the good nutrients that were in there are probably already kind of faded. So I'm going to add some fertilizer in this part of the soil, which is not where the seeds will be sitting, because I don't want to risk burning my seeds, since this is quite a concentrated fertilizer. So I will be adding fertilizer in this, so that this soil is already all the way charged up by the time the roots of the strawberries will reach in there. So I brought in some of my all-purpose fruits and vegetables fertilizer. I'm just gonna sprinkle some on top. And this is a really strong fertilizer, so it's not necessary to add a lot of it at all. This is what it now looks like, the light color, that's the fertilizer, and I'm now going to mix it in just a tiny bit. And then I am going to water this already. Afterwards, I will add my seedling soil. Then I will water my seedling soil. And finally, I will add my seeds and lightly water over it. But because the seeds are so itty bitty tiny, I'm not sure if you can even see them, I have to be really careful when watering them that I don't actually spray them away with the water. Okay, I have my fertilizer mixed in. Grab my water, mix it. I'm gonna make sure this is really drenched. Now, this did settle the soil quite a bit, so now it's more like halfway down in the container, but that's fine. I'm now going to add the seedling soil, the seeds, and then I'll be back to show you. This is what the containers look like right now. So I added my seedling soil, and then I watered them in really well because my seedling soil was extremely dry. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add my seeds on here. So I'm going to put 10 seeds per container, which means 5 on each side. And I'm gonna be trying out this tool and see whether it works for me or not. I'm gonna start with a small amount of seeds. Let's see. Oh god. Okay. There's. Yep. Alright. putting size 1 down. Oh, one fell. This is definitely not going to work. Never. It's never gonna work. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it in my hand and I'm gonna spread it like that. Alright, well, that's disappointing. I just opened this seed pack and there's only supposed to be 10 seeds in here. So that means that I was only able to fill 2 of my containers. So this one and this one I filled, but these 2 are still empty. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna run down there real quickly to the store and I'm gonna go buy 2 more packs of these strawberries. Nothing to do about it. I didn't check properly in advance. And to be fair, it's also not pointed out on the seed pack that there's only... Oh yeah, it is, never mind. It says right here, 10 seeds. So yeah, I didn't check it properly. So I'm gonna run to the store and grab 2 more seed packs so I can finish this off. And then these can go back on the rack upstairs. Alright, we are here. The parking lot was ridiculously busy. I'm here for this. Alright. Yesterday I was here as well because I needed some feed for the horses. And I saw someone in front of me who had some little plants, and indeed they have their first plants out here. Now it's mostly salads. See here, this is an early cauliflower. Yeah, that's not very much information. And then they have some herbs and some of these fig trees, raspberries, blackberries. I don't know what this is. Oh, goji berries. And then some flowers and stuff. Now I still need some potting soil, and then I think I have everything that I need. I'm now back in the car. I have my strawberry seeds. I got 2 bags of potting soil. My mom needed one, and then I thought, you know, then I have it if I need it. And then I got something else. I saw these outside and I just couldn't help myself. These are blueberries. Hardy to -25, which is a temperature we never get here, so that's good. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of information on the tickets here, so I'm just going to look up the variety online and see if there are any specific things I have to do for it. But so yeah, when I get home I will be potting this one up as well. I just finished planting all my seeds. Now I ended up only putting 6 seeds in this one because the seed packets that said there were supposed to be 10 seeds did not contain 10 seeds. So the first one only had 9 seeds and I thought, well, maybe I counted wrong. It's possible, maybe I just missed one or I dropped one, whatever. So I opened the second one that I just went to buy. Again, only 9 seeds. I was like, well, like, it would be very coincidental if I couldn't count to 10 2 times in a row. So I'm pretty sure that there were only 9 seeds in the second pack as well. So I opened the third pack. I was like, well, now I'm gonna count them before I open the actual package. There were only 6 seeds in the third pack, so very disappointing, but there's nothing we can do about it. So this fourth cell only has 6 seeds in it. The rest do have 10 each, so I will have 36 plants, and then I hope that they all germinate and come up. We will see. Also, I have a little visitor. I have a spider that's moving extremely slow and I find it a little creepy, so I'm gonna grab my stuff and put it upstairs on the rack, and that this is ready for germination. It's now a few hours later, and I did go ahead and immediately put our blueberry into the ground next to our other blueberry. So this green one is the one we bought, and this brown one over here is the one that we've had in the ground for, I want to say 2 years now, 3 years maybe. And as you can see, it hasn't done a whole lot for us. It's not even as high as the stake, so the one that I bought is already bigger than the one we have. But anyway, let's hope that they both do well this year. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to prune all the bushes that you see here. So raspberries, the blueberry that we had needs a little bit of pruning, and then these ones over here. So let's go ahead and do it. So for our raspberries, this is where I'm going to start. For these ones, these are raspberries that bloom on first year wood. So these I'm gonna take down to the ground. But these here in between, these 5 I think, yes, the ones that you see the tags on, they bloom on second year wood. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for the wood that bloomed last year, which is, for example, this here. You see there are blooms, so those I can take down completely. And then the ones that did not bloom yet last year, like this one over here, those I'm leaving. So, and I'm gonna be staking them up to our little system over here. The only problem that I have with this little system is that our pole came down. It broke off, so here in the ground it broke. So once I clip these, because these are also first year bloomers, my whole trellising system is going to fall down. So I might not be able to stake them already today, but then at least they are pruned and ready to be staked. I cut off all the first year bloomers, and I took off all the clips that attach the black line to these stakes. And as you can see right now, I will show you from a distance, it looks like a big mess. So I'm gonna try to pull out as many of these sticks as possible. I took out a second pair of gloves because these thorns are really nasty. They're super small, but they definitely sting through your gloves. So yeah, let's go. I finished the pruning job. I will be standing on a distance so you can see it a little better. So the huge raspberry over here and the big one over there, I just chopped down to the ground. And then over here, I took down all the spindly little branches, the ones that weren't growing in the right direction, the ones that were growing outside of the little bed. I had a few that were growing in the back in the grass and in the front in the grass. Got all of that off. And then it might look a little bit bad because our trellis is not up, but I cut them all to about the same height. Some of them are flopped over so you don't see it, but they're about to that second black thread over here. Oh, the little black thread over there. They are all about the same height to there, except for a few ones that were a little bit thinner than others. Those I cut to the first trellis thread. And then in the back, the green and the brown blueberry, I just chopped off a few little branches here and there that were growing inwards, but for the rest I left those alone. Same for this one, cut off a few branches that were twisted in a really weird way, because I know that those are gonna start growing inwards. That's not what we want. And then I did the same over here. Actually, these 3 I moved this year and I put them over here. Now this one I'm quite happy with. The middle one I'm not sure yet. It's still quite it still has quite a few of these like little spindly branches, so I might be doing a second prune on this, but for now I will leave it and I will see how it grows. And then we have this one. I'm not even sure if you're going to be able to see it. This one has struggled over the past few years. It struggled really hard. So I try to touch this as little as possible. And then I will take you over here. Now this one I pruned quite severely because it was growing all over the place, and compared to that one, which did really bad last season because it was in the cold air of our pond heater. And this heater puts out cold airflow all season long. And this plant was planted in this hole, which was right in the airstream. So it did really bad. Then it got like this kind of worm or something that was on it. Anyway, it almost didn't grow last season. This one, compared to the other one, grew significantly. So I chopped like 2/3 of the plants away because I know it's gonna grow a lot again. It won't be a problem. I will just have to make sure that this actually grows up instead of down, but yeah, it will be fine. The only thing that now still has to be pruned are our fruit trees. This is a cherry tree, and over there we have some more trees as well. But I will be asking some professional advice for that because our trees are actually getting a little bit high. They are supposed to be low stem trees, which means that they don't go above a certain height. But this one, I'm not sure if you can see it. It is extremely high. My height tunnel is already 2 meters. So it's easily 3.5 to 4 meters high already. If it would put a fruit there at the top, we would never be able to reach it. So I'm not sure how or even if I can top this tree. So I will be asking some professional help for that. Same for our pear over there, which is all over the place, shooting up. So yeah, I'm not going to be touching those because I know they are a little more fragile in general than raspberries, for example. So I'm gonna ask some advice first, and then I'm gonna be pruning those. So with these pruning jobs and our first seeds that we started inside, I'm very excited. That's going to wrap up the video for today. I hope you enjoyed watching, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye guys!